YouTube. Thought I'd come to you and show you my trowel here. I want to, let me go on the subject over here. Just want to see my trowel here about cleaning my brass. I've seen a numerous amount of videos on the internet with this, almost the same setup. There's actually one guy that actually made a stand and used the drill. Most of the guys used on the back of their container, they used a piece of wood bolted and had a gearbox and, you know, quite expensive little tools. But if you haven't got it, you haven't got it. Basically everything here was just scrap and junk I had laying around. Spare drill that I've had, but I seen one guy use a drill on there. I don't remember his name, but thank you very much for showing me this. That gets the speed down to where I need to without changing the pulleys. I would like to have me a motor this slow, AC motor. But what I come to you today is I wanted to try this for myself before I put a lot of money in it. I've got some reloaded brass in here that I think it's 303, 270, and 38 on this inside of here. And what I did is I've cut these blocks. I didn't have bearings, so what I did is I've actually had this tumbling for about 2 hours and have no problem with it. I've took this off and looked and checked the brass and see what it looked like, and it's extraordinary, really. But I didn't have the bearing, so I just drilled a hole and all the way through here. Put me a washer and some tape so it don't slide back this way. This actually come off an old house fan blower. I did put my drill down here, and I've got them actually just in place with drywall screws or decking screws, whatever these are. But anyway, I've got it set up there, and I've got a screw against the trigger where I want the speed at. I don't have my belt anywhere near tight because I don't want to mess my bearings up in the drill. I like for it to last a little while. This container here is actually what fish batter is in. You can use any container you want. But I did it, like I said, I did this for a trial to see if, without a tumbler, store-bought vibrator tumbler. This is a rotary tumbler, is what they would call it. And had some old rollers here. Let me remove this and show you the whole thing here. Put some rubber caps on here that come off of a propane torch. I just kind of poked a hole in them and slid them on the shaft before I assembled this together. These old rollers, I don't know, I picked them up at Walmart for something and was using them on something at one time. But like I said, it's just all junk that I had laying around the garage. So cleaning the brass is it's not rocket science, man. If you want to do it, it's anything you set your mind to is possible. But I want to thank everybody and Good Ideas. It's on YouTube. There's other things, other media cleaners, what have you. And I want to thank everybody on there for coming up with some great ideas. You give people like me encouragement to do things like this and piddle, and I mean, this thing actually works, man. It looks really good. If anybody's curious, this drill, I'm running it probably about 700 RPMs, I think. Half speed, if you pull the trigger ends, half speed, I think it's 700 RPMs, and I think it can actually go to like 2,000 RPMs or something like that. But it's too fast if you crank down on it. I actually tried a AC motor, which is 1725, and for the setup that I got here on the pulleys, without changing the pulleys, it was way too fast. It would actually throw the container off. These holes I bored, they're, like I said, it's way too big. This hadn't wore out by this. It's just that I used a great big bit. That's all I had on the wood bit. Drilled through there, and I drilled all the way through here and locked down the pulley, and I do know that it matters where these rollers are, and it does matter which way this is turning. If you got it turning in, it actually throws all the weight towards the inside and helps it grip. If you're going the other way, all your weight will be in the back, and it'll just spin on there. I've checked and tried tape and different other things, so you need to get some kind of rubber to put on this, and to keep from getting this wood hot and to keep from bogging my drill down and the belt and stuff, I actually use some penetrating oil, and I would spray it right in here to help free it up from time to time. Maybe spread it 3 times in the 2 hours that I've actually tumbled this stuff. These here are not that much at Wally World, but if you haven't got them, you can use whatever you got laying around. This was my first idea until I actually dug through the box and found these in my junk pile. Was some old bed rollers. I was actually just going to drill a hole right through the table and adjust it to, you know, where I want to. If I need to drill another one and put it in there, whatever. But this would actually work if you wanted to. It's just much nicer. The media that I'm using in this, of course I've seen it on YouTube, thank you for the ideas, is corncob bed media that you find in the pet section. It's actual ground up corncob. And the first time I tried this, you got to tinker with it and get it just right, but the first time I tried this, I actually had too much media in here, and I don't believe it was actually tumbling as well. So I kind of half and half my brass where I can actually see the brass. It looks like they tumble a lot better than it does almost full. I'll explain the rubber tube in there in just a minute. But I actually dumped out most of this back into here. And I did see it on YouTube, but I don't know yet with or without it makes a difference. But I used a couple tablespoons of this, or teaspoons, whatever you want. Wax, or hard shell wax, or whatever you got, polish wax that you got around the garage, and might be able to throw it in there. I heard that that helps polish the shell. I did try wood chips. That I drilled out a bunch of wood with my wood bit and tried that, and it cleans it, but really slow, and it gets stuck in the cases so bad that especially rifle cases, that you really got to try to pluck it out. Let me open this and show you what this is. Here, I can show you the media. This is what it is at Walmart. Pretty good. I mean, because it is actually corncob media, 100% natural, blah, blah, blah. It's bedding for, I guess it's birds and rabbits and what have you. But it's kind of soft. It's still abrasive, but not too bad. Let me open this and show you what some of this brass looks like. I'm trying to do this with one hand, sorry. This is an old container from fish fry. We bought a lot of it at Sam's Club, and when we used it up, I saved the old containers. I also cast my own bullets, and I've got one of these for it works good. You put your A-locks in here that's made from Lee, and tumble it in here. It works good. And I've seen them on YouTube do the 2 buckets back and forth, whatever. But I've got one just specialized just for the. I used to do this by hand. Roll this around on the floor, but this thing is going to make it a lot easier once I beef it up and get bearings and what have you. Like I said, if you ain't got the money, if you want to try it as a trial, just find what junk you got laying around the house, man. Because people on YouTube has really got some good ideas, and it actually works instead of buying a really expensive tumbler, unless you're doing a whole lot for the range or commercially or something like that. But with the wax and corncob media in there, and I'll show you what this is. This is an old piece of rubber hose. If you notice, this hasn't got no agitation block screwed to the outside because I didn't want no holes in the container. And I thought I'd try this, and guess what? This works great without doing all the extra work. All I've got is I think it's gas tube, 3/8 gas tube for a car. And I just got a big piece in it, and what I do is I just push it down in there so it's really tight against the sides of the container, and that acts as an agitation for it. And don't let the media, you know, stay in one spot in the bottom. It tumbles pretty well, actually. Alright, here's the brass. After a couple hours, really, I didn't time it or anything. But you clean them to your preference, I guess. I'll lay them up here. I didn't take the primers out because I've heard so much on YouTube that this corncob media will stick in the primers, or the primer of the flash hole. And it's really hard to pick out. As you can see, there's media in here. If you just peck it a little bit, and inside the rifle cases, it looks like it kind of cleans it. I don't know if I can get it. Don't do a bad job, really, but I like to find another way to do this, and if I do, I'll make another video on it to clean the insides. I've tried, I know they've got videos, and some people might have success on them, I don't know, but I've tried the what is it, the wet Dawn dish liquid and water and vinegar mix and heat it up, and then try to put some in the oven and dry them out, and it's just really time consuming, to be honest with you. I've got a flash hole and a cleaner for this, so when I push them out, I'll just clean it with it. It's also a rimmer, if you will, and I'll just clean those after I punch them out and resize the case. But I'll blow these out real good before I reload. I found out that inside of these, it cleans pretty decent, but what I've really found out is on pistol shells that's the same diameter all the way up, it really does a good job on the inside. So I mean, like your 40, 44, 45, any kind of straight cartridge, it's really going to clean awesome. I mean, just in a few hours, it does the number. It's really impressed me. Besides the liquid, I've tried to use it. It doesn't really polish anyway. It just kind of cleans the powder and what have you. I still see a little stuff around there in the rim. Maybe I need to go for a little longer. Or then again, maybe it not hurt. But if you get a chance and you never tumbled brass before, rig you something up. Use junk. It doesn't matter. I mean, after all, you're just trial and error, right? But I want to thank everybody on YouTube for giving people out there the encouragement to actually try something like this before they spend $100, $200, $300 on a gigantic vibrator or a vibration machine that to clean their brass with, or vibrator. And I mean, this actually works. Like I said, if I make another video, I'll make one about how to try to clean the inside of this really well. But as I get the money, as anybody gets the money, maybe they don't have the money, I will buy bearings for this. I'm pretty sure Napa's might have some that actually fit this, and I'll make me a base, and this is actually screwed to my table actually. I'll buy me a base and bore out a hole for a bearing to sit in to fit this shaft, and make it. I mean, man, this works. The reason this third wheel's on here, the container that I'm using wanted to walk forward. Waste a whole lot of your time here, but it actually wanted to walk forward. So what I did is put this third little roller here that would stay in this lip, and that would hold it back. I have no problem with it working backwards. If I did, I would actually try to put something else back there in the back. But it would work forward and hit this block. Like I said, you're just tinkering around, just trial and error, man. Try her out. It would really be better with a motor. I don't want to tear the drills up. And like I said, this is a spare drill. And any questions or whatever, I'll go ahead and ask, and I'll be free to try to answer you back. And about the Helo lube, I don't know if I told you, I do spray this in here to keep it a little lubed up. Since I don't have bearings, I don't want to catch a wood on fire. Okay. If you like it, say you do. If you don't like it, say you don't. I don't know. If you got junk, use it. And if you don't, well, I guess you can spend a lot of money and buy you something that works. But this works for me. Thank you.